Okay, let's get started, shall we? So hopefully, hopefully this time things will run a little bit smoothly than last time, and I'll actually get somewhere. I mean, we did manage to figure it all out and sort out the last one. It just took a little while longer than thought. But yes, last time, yeah, there was that room with the rotating stuff. There we are.
Power is flowing on this floor. Now, on to the next one.
So let's see what happens if I jump on here. So there's that lock to the side, and then there's doors this way. Is there anything else around here? So probably that teleporter will probably activate once we're all sorted. So yeah, no, we're just looking at that first lock. This is fun. So let's figure out the individual values that we're wanting out of these each graph. So for the blue, if we have negative pi, that doesn't do the job. Wait, that's negative 0.9. But if we do the positive, that's weird. Okay. Oh, doesn't exist, of course. A positive? Nope, that's way too far. And if we go a negative for that one. Okay, so we want negative 1.5 pi for the top. Which would theoretically be the same as half pi, maybe? So if we go here, yeah, so half pi, negative half pi and half pi, and then we switch this to the positive. There we go. So we need these particular values. All the while everything else is going on. Okay, so that's a fun one. Let's have a look. I mean, let's just check this. Input slider, yep, okay, we know about that. So what are we looking at? So we want 0.5 or negative 1.5. Now we don't get any negative 1.5s on the green at all. There's no negative 1.5s on here. The closest is like a negative 1.3 pi maybe. Then we get the negative 1.5s over here. Now this is a negative 1.5 if we go for the negative limit, but that also doesn't help. So if we go the positive way, we can do that, but that also doesn't help matters. Oh dear. We can try the does not exist stuff, the phase something or other. That doesn't work. Oh, because it's negative 1.5. But what if we go to the minus? Nope. That's fun. This is a very messy one. Can do that. Oh, right, because we need the negative 1.5 there. So those two are lined up, but that's not going to work. We're probably looking at trying to get a spot where in the... Oh, wait, no, the white one is the one that's not working. No, it's the blue one isn't working. Yeah, no. So maybe we want to get rid of the blue one at some point. But that's the thing, then we have to line up one of those. This is a fun one. We go all the way back to the beginning. We end up getting a mess. Okay, This is going to be guess and check so that then I can figure out what it was I was missing. And that lines up. Ooh, that's a spot where those two line up, but the other one doesn't. That's annoying. Oh well. That lines up again. Oh, because it's the positive, yep. Then we have that, then we have that. So it's almost like trying to get them in phase, but the problem is they're not continuous, therefore... What? How? How? Oh, so it's the in-between, so I had to sort of extrapolate. So basically I was focusing on the points. I needed to maybe look beyond those, so if that's going to start becoming a thing, I will have to keep that in mind. Now we need to find a splitter. Hopefully there will be one in here. Oh, there is a talkie cube thing.
I don't know how much more of this the power matrix...
The unthinkable has happened. An explosion in Father's chamber. Kalos. Kalos is... No, I cannot even think it. I must hope against hope that he succeeded in mastering the Ascension transductions. And even if that were so, I have no idea how to bring him back. And if we cannot, or if he is indeed dead, then we are all doomed.
Ascension. A wild hypothesis, quite impractical for living beings. I'm afraid we must take this log as evidence that Kalos, the great ruler of the Mantha, is dead.
That's fun. So now we know how the old guy died. If you've been watching the previous episodes, you'll know he was the ruler of the people who used to live on this planet. Then he mysteriously died, and the two sisters kind of blamed each other for it. Why they blamed each other, I don't know, but they did. Let's try see if there's a splitter on the other side. But yes, with that little bit of story, we now know how he died. So another one of these. Fun times. What are we looking for? What value do we want? So we want a value of 0 for all of them if we can. That's got a value of 0 for one of them. That does not exist, so we can't use the phase thingy wants it. That, however, if we have the negative limit, does the job. There we go. So this one, we could look at the points, which is quite nice. Obviously not the top two because there were no points, but we looked at the 0 crossings, which made life a little bit easier, which is nice. So there's a 3-way one, which those ones are always useful. So basically we'll use that to... oh, it's coming through that way. Okay. There we are. That is good. It's linking up with various different things, which means that it's opening up different doors. So this one, so we have to look at the asymptotes and what it will approach. So in this case, over here, it's getting more negative, therefore we can say it'll keep becoming more negative. Here, again, becoming more negative, so it'll become negative infinity, then in the other direction it's becoming more positive, so positive infinity. At this point, yes, it approaches 5 on both sides, and then here, again, it approaches infinity because it's getting more positive. There we are. So now we have, ooh, that's a 2, that's a right angle piece, but that's not helpful over here because there isn't a pedestal for it to go on, so we must have to go to the other side. Okay. Actually, no, I'm going to just go through that door first, but just have to drop this one off on a pedestal. There we go. because there's invariably another splitter in here. So we're approaching the value of 1 on this case, so the asymptote is 1. Then up there it's going positive, so positive infinity. Down here it's going negative, so negative infinity. Then you've got negative infinity again, and then positive infinity, and then approaching 1. Cool thing with this is actually one single graph. It's not lots of bits and pieces of other stuff, it's just one graph, which is, in my opinion, quite cool. So we've got one of the branching, the 3 ones. That'll be useful, because that and open this doorway, which will then give us that one. However, that one is probably more likely to be useful here, because then we can do that, and okay, can't run through those tables, unfortunate. And so then, yep, so actually, so we can do it just with that one. That's good to know, because the 3s are always useful, so I'm quite happy to hold on to one of those. Okay, so we've just cracked open that door. We've got that door open. Has it opened up any of the other doors? Yes, this one. However, we need a beam of light coming in. Ah, I see, right. So we have to redirect the light coming in through this one. Go. And so then we can get the splitter going from that, which will hopefully open the last door. Oh, wait a minute. That door's only open. Okay, maybe we need to just switch around. Yeah, because of course only when that other door is open will it work. There we go. Now the door should be open. I must say, yeah, I've said this before, I'll say it again. It'd be really nice if I had control of the camera. We'll put that in and we'll see what happens. I see what needs to be done. We need to have one of the 3 angle splitter thingies. Anyhow, let's just go through here and see what's happening. So that's lit that one up, which has hopefully opened a door. Yes, it has, which will give us another one. Ooh, this is a cool graph, and again, could possibly be a single one, but I don't think it is. So this is approaching 0 here. It's just getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller without going into the negative. Then infinity, infinity, negative infinity, positive infinity, 0. So infinity, infinity, negative infinity, positive infinity, and 0. There we go. So yes, we've got the thing that we needed. Yep. Going all over the place, aren't I? Anyhow, actually, let's just check to see if it can be of use here first. Oh, it's opened something. That doorway, so we can go through there first just to... Ah, I see, right. That's not too helpful. So, we can pick that one back up. And we can come and put it back in. We can switch it out for this one, which will do the job. Go. So now we can go up there. Now let's just check down here, see if there's anything important floating around. Yep. We can't because we've got that one sitting there, but we just need to remember that there is another 3 floating around for future reference. Oh, more story, yay!
Father is dead. Killed by my sister's mad theories. She should never have encouraged him to experiment with the crystals in such a reckless fashion. We are far from possessing the capabilities of the First Era, and I am doubtful even the ancients could do what Ava suggests. All this talk of the Ascension transductions! Look what this fanciful thinking has wrought now!
This would seem to confirm that Kalos did indeed die.
Unable to confirm. No post-mortem report exists.
So no post-mortem report exists means no body, means could still be alive. You never know. So let's see what we need to solve. One of these good old problems. We'll go to the patch limiter, because why not? So here it's going to mimic, because it's continuous on the green, it's going to mimic the white. Yes. It'll either be that or it'll just be continuous on both sides. Yeah, because it definitely doesn't exist at that point. But it, yeah, it all converges on the 0 because the green value. Yeah, remember that from a previous run of this. Not previous run of doing this whole game, but previous stream. So again, that's going to be 0. That's going to be approaching on both sides. So same thing again. Here we've got a value of 0 for the green. So same thing again. There we go. That's a fun graph. So we want to get a value of 1. So let's go to the there we go. So we want a value of 1. No, it doesn't look like the patch limit is going to give me that, which is, except maybe there. There we go. That's good. Now I'm guessing this controls the lift. That one can be moved, so we want select the input, align it with the walkway. So let's go for the highest possible one. Nope. If we go for the other one, nope. Because we don't, I mean, it's looking like it's around about the 2 mark. That's useful. So we want the negative. There we go. And I'm guessing 4 will be the one for the other floor. Yeah. So we've got that in place. Now we can hop into the teleporter. And here we go. Now if it's a splitter, dang it. That's the only problem with holding one of those in your inventory. You can't pick up other ones. So I will go and drop that off somewhere. Go. So we want to head on over to here. Even though there's nothing coming through here, just drop that off there, so that then we can get back to it. Actually, we might as well pick up the one that's in here. So that approaches 2, because it's approaching the 2 but doesn't get there. Then it's positive infinity, then it's positive infinity, then it's positive infinity, then it's negative infinity, and then it's approaching 2 but from the different direction to the beginning, but still approaching 2. So now we can also drop this one off on one of the splitter pedestals. I think, yep, there's this one over here. Yeah. We're going to be mixing and matching quite a bit, I think. Up the way we go. And now we can pick up that last one. I must say, this must be a decent game because, frankly, like, the environment graphics are not that impressive. And I don't have any issue with it. It's quite nice. Normally, if the environmental graphics are terrible, I'm inclined to not be overly happy about it. Actually, let's see if we can rearrange this so that it's sending it. Yeah, that'll work. There we go. So we are sending the light through. We can do it like that, because then there's this one, which we can place that down there, like so. We can place, we're going to need another angle one, which is going to be floating around somewhere. Okie dokie. Almost certainly it'll be floating around upstairs. However, I will admit I didn't check over here. Let's have a quick look. Nah, nothing over there. Just more books, which books are wonderful. Oh, they really are. Books allow you to explore worlds you never thought possible, and yet, within the book, they are. The thing is, that applies to fiction and non-fiction, because often with non-fiction you don't actually know that something's possible until you read that it is. Therefore, oops, shouldn't have gone up there, should have rearranged first. Therefore, if you read non-fiction and it shows you that something's possible within the world, that has also, yeah, it's shown you a world that you never thought was possible. Here we are now. How are we gonna do that? Anyhow, we want a value of 3, which that's nice and easy. How do we get up there though? That's my question. And we also have to put in place this thing. I'm guessing we have to somehow come from the other side. There we go. So how do we... Ah, here we are. Here's another teleport pad, which then goes up here, which then means we can head off this way. I'm quite happy. This playthrough is a little bit more productive than the last one, which is good. Ah, there's that. What? That's an L. I'm not sure how that's going to be helpful. We're going to have to reconsider how this is all going to work together. Okay. Oh, I see why, because now we've sorted out the top area, we don't actually need those doors open, so we can switch it for that, which then allows for that, which then means that now we have the angle one, which we can use to open up that last door, which is probably where the power's coming through. And that is that. There we go. There's almost certainly something important. It's just story. I mean, nothing wrong with story.
What was it that you were trying to do, Father, that caused this calamity and took you from us? Why did you not ask my aid directly? Why didn't you trust me? Now you are gone, and everything is falling apart. We need you, Father, now more than ever.
Yes. In some it's an interesting system, because in some regards it almost mimics what you get when it almost mimics like what you would get.
Outstanding.
Woohoo!
Power
yeah.
is now flowing throughout the building. We must return to the master node immediately.
It's almost like when you no longer have your teacher. When you no longer have someone to show you how to do things.
Power
you're
levels
like,
building.
I can't
Urgent
possibly
action
do
required.
Is there anything we could do with a phaser?
Unregistered visitor Equa possesses abnormal phasing signature consistent with phase anomaly behavior.
You're saying she has already been phased? How could this have happened? Phasing yourself through the barrier might be our only option, but I cannot ask this of you. It is far too dangerous.
Then logically, I must ask unregistered visitor Equa to attempt transphasing of herself on behalf of registered entity Solari.
I can only hope this will work.
I can't ask this of you. Okay, so I'm the other guy who's just complete logic, no emotion whatsoever. That means I'm asking you. It's fun. So approaching 1, then approaching infinity, negative infinity, approaching 1. I'm going through these quite quickly just simply because I have talked about how this all works in previous episodes. If you're interested, have a look on my YouTube because I put up all of my streams. Plus on Twitch itself, there are recordings of all of those streams. Well, hey, that's fun. And then story time.
It's working! The power flow is rerouting.
Flux transfer event detected.
Not helpful, Preceptor. Project the consequences.
Geomagnetic induction declining globally. Excess current in the magnetosphere discharging locally.
Hang on to something.
Geomagnetic transition detected. Flux transfer maximum.
It's happening. It's happening again.
Flux transfer discharging. Magnetic tether declining. Further geomagnetic activity not projected.
Equa? No. Don't leave me. Not again. Equa? It's over. Once again, I am alone. The last living voice upon this abandoned world. How many times must we perform this dance? I wonder. You may forget, but I remember each time we have met all your gallant quests. Yet I can recall nothing from before meeting you. Not even who I am. The magnetic storms have ended, but the solar flares continue. Whether this new cataclysm can be averted, I cannot say. Well, Equa, once again, I await your return. This equation may yet be solved.
Oh, that was good. It was a good game. I mean, I will note, according to the Triseum website, this game is far from done, which is always good to know. Apparently, it's got quite a bit more to go, because they'll add in more calculus theory, all those kinds of things. But yeah, no, that was a good game. Even had the emotional response, sort of the you wanted the characters to do well, and then at the end, while perhaps not emotionally satisfying, it gave you something for your effort, and that's good. Yeah. So we'll just go past this. There we are. And yeah. So I mean, I didn't know when this was going to end, so I hadn't really planned for anything more. So we'll leave it at that. And yeah, I'll have a look at some other video games that might be useful, things like that. Plus, looking at doing more sort of art streams. Jack of all trades, master of none, and all of that. But yes, I do hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and yeah, talk to you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.